Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is your go-to place for deep dives into critical social issues, and today, we're tackling one of the most pressing problems facing the US today, the mental health crisis. It's a crisis that affects millions of people, across all walks of life, and yet, it's still not talked about enough. We're going to explore the magnitude of the mental health crisis in America, why it's happening, and what needs to change. In the United States, mental illness is more common than most of us realize. In fact, 1 in 5 Americans will experience a mental health issue every year. That's more than 50 million people. 1 in 5 adults in the US experience mental illness annually. 40% of people with mental health issues don't seek treatment. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the US. And that number is only increasing. Anxiety, depression, and stress-related disorders are becoming more common, especially in younger generations. Teen depression rates have doubled in the last decade. Social media, academic pressures, and the pressures of growing up in an increasingly uncertain world are taking a toll on mental well-being. We live in an age where teenagers and young adults are bombarded with unrealistic standards of beauty, success, and happiness. And this can create feelings of inadequacy, loneliness, and anxiety. But one of the biggest obstacles in dealing with the mental health crisis is stigma. In many parts of American society, mental health issues are still seen as something to be ashamed of. For years, people have been taught that it's better to hide mental health struggles and tough it out, rather than seek help. This leads to silence and suffering in isolation. Imagine living with anxiety or depression and feeling like you can't talk about it because you might be judged, labeled, or misunderstood. This is the reality for millions of Americans who suffer in silence. Approximately 40% of people with mental illness do not seek treatment due to fear of being stigmatized. So, how do we break this silence? Well, talking about mental health openly is the first step. We need to make it okay to not be okay. While breaking the stigma is a huge part of the solution, we also need to address access to care. Mental health services are often difficult to access for many people, especially in rural areas. Currently, more than 60% of people with mental health issues don't get the help they need. Why? Well, access to therapists is limited, especially in rural areas. Many people can't afford therapy, and in some places, there are long wait lists just to see someone. Telehealth has been a major breakthrough, especially during the pandemic. Online therapy and mental health resources are becoming more accessible, but they're still not enough to meet the growing demand. Also, mental health care is often treated as secondary to physical health. Many insurance plans don't cover mental health services as comprehensively, and out-of-pocket costs can be overwhelming. And the crisis isn't just affecting individuals. It's also taking a major economic toll. Mental health disorders cost the U.S. economy more than $300 billion annually in lost productivity, disability claims, and medical expenses. When people struggle with untreated mental health conditions, they may miss work, be less productive, or even go on disability. This not only impacts them personally but also drains resources from companies and the economy. Imagine if we treated mental health care the same way we treat physical health care. If everyone had access to the treatment and support they needed, we could save billions in lost productivity and healthcare costs. Despite the challenges, there are stories of hope. More and more people are beginning to speak out about their struggles. Celebrities, athletes, and regular people are sharing their stories of mental health recovery. People like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Lady Gaga, and Selena Gomez are using their platforms to destigmatize mental health and encourage others to seek help. There's also been progress in mental health awareness. From the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, to Mental Health America, advocacy groups are working tirelessly to improve mental health care, reduce stigma, and educate the public. In schools, workplaces, and communities, mental health programs are beginning to take root. More employers are offering mental health benefits, and schools are incorporating mental health education into their curriculums. The mental health crisis in the US is real. But it's not insurmountable. By breaking the stigma, improving access to care, and taking a more proactive approach to mental health, we can make a real difference. And that starts with you. The conversation begins now. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-TALK. Text HOME to 741741 for crisis text line. Find a therapist, Psychology Today Therapist Finder. If you're struggling, remember, it's okay to ask for help. And if you know someone who's struggling, don't be afraid to start a conversation. Let's work together to change how we view mental health and make the US a better place for those who need help. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it. Let's spread awareness and help break the stigma. Resources in the description. Take care of yourself and each other.